Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Leadership Liner Notes podcast. This is Sean Gaylord, and I am coming to you live from Orlando, Florida. And we are here at ISTE+ASCD. You're hearing some background noise in the back. Uh, Buses are driving, people are coming in, and I am very, very grateful to have a return guest from a previous podcast, Why the Beatles Matter. So if you've been following along, or if you're aware of her book and her work, but it is truly an honor, and I'm just filled with such gratitude to have the awesome, the amazing, the fab, the groovy Julia Bialeski. Julia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is my third appearance on a Sean Gaylord podcast, by the way.
That's right. Leading While Human.
Yes, my Leading While Human episode dropped while we've been here in Orlando.
Right. That's right. Oh my goodness.
You don't
Yes.
have to correct the host on your.
No,
your
you must correct
yes.
me.
Okay.
Because when you get into this bubble of the conference and time and space, just
yes, we're traveling.
Everything
is a little off. Yeah.
But yes, yeah, that episode, Leading While Human, just dropped with my co-host Sonia Matthews. So check that out. And now I've got another opportunity to. This is all impromptu,
Yes.
and really, for those who are tuning in impromptu, Julia, tell the listeners, the viewers, a little bit about you and your work and your speaking and your authoring and all the things.
Sure. I'm Julia Bialeski. I'm the author of the book Leading with Grace, Cultivating Hope, Authenticity, and a Focus on People Throughout the Leadership Lifespan. The book is a combination of personal stories, primarily from my time as an elementary school principal, and it follows the framework of the leadership lifespan, the common competencies that we need to have as educational leaders that really repeat themselves as we change roles, whether we are promoted or we change schools or we change districts, or even we stay the same place, but our context changes in a different way. And so the book is very actionable, very practical, with pages for reflection right in the book so you can apply it to your own learning. I continue to scratch that writing itch with my weekly email newsletter that I send out for the Strategic Serenity community. So it's for like-minded people who want to make this very hard work be sustainable over the long term. And so I share all kinds of things around leadership and emotional intelligence and well-being, and really whatever I'm thinking about on a Sunday morning while I'm having my coffee at my dining room table. I do a lot of speaking work with groups and at conferences like this. My session this morning was on emotional intelligence in leadership, and it was called Living Our Legacy, because our titles are borrowed.
They are.
And so we have to think about the legacy we want to leave behind. And I am a believer, and I know you are a believer, that the legacy that we want to leave behind is really focused on people and how we make people feel and how we help to support people so that we can also support as leaders the longevity and sustainability of our field of public education.
And might I add that your session was standing room only?
It was standing room only. I didn't know that until after the session when people outside told me that they couldn't get in. But it's obviously the dream when you are presenting somewhere, especially at a national conference like this, to work so hard planning and writing the proposal for your session and planning and practicing, and to have it resonate with people that way. So that was amazing.
So I highly recommend the book. And as always, for those that are tuning in, I will put all of Julia's links and connections to her book, and please subscribe to her newsletter. It is something that I look forward to, and it is part of my Sunday reflection.
Thank you.
So I appreciate that. And I think at this conference, which I think echoes my question of why you stay in the gig.
Yeah.
And you are doing something that is a combination of grace and human-centeredness. And it's unique, that it's just unique to the conference experience. And I want you to talk about the long table.
Yeah. So I had this kind of wild idea as I was preparing to come. I do go to a lot of conferences alone. And so I'm, traveling alone away from my family, but also attending alone, sometimes without any colleagues from my district or people who I've met. We finally got to meet in
Yes.
person after a year and a half.
Yes.
Yesterday at the conference. But so often I will know, one or two people that are there, but it can feel a little intimidating to come to something like this, even when you are excited about it. And so as I was preparing to come, I was really reflecting on what I hoped to experience when I was here. And I was thinking about another conference that I attended as a participant where some of the sponsors held small group dinners. And I loved, that was the highlight of the conference for me, getting to go to one of these small group dinners because I was alone at that conference too. And so, just getting to talk to people and get to know them a little bit. I mean, we were talking about things like hobbies and the books we were reading and our families, and we weren't really talking about education, after a long day of wonderful sessions and learning. Yeah. And so I thought, well, how can I replicate that? I'm not a company. I can't sponsor a dinner at a restaurant. So I actually texted you first. I said, I have this idea. It didn't have a name yet. Like, would that be something you would be interested in going to? And I was both like crowdsourcing the idea and inviting you at the same time.
Which I appreciate.
And so you were like so receptive to it. Yeah. And I thought this is like kind of a no lose situation. Like if no one wants to do it, I can eat a burger, on my own. It's really not, there's nothing to lose here. And I didn't know how people would react or respond. I knew you would respond positively, but sure. So I put a little like interest form together and I posted about it, and the ISTE and ASCD presenters site had like a forum where I could post it. And word kind of spread. And this was only maybe like 3 weeks ago before the conference. Yeah. So
where's the time going?
I know. So I collected the information from people who were interested, and so many people were interested. People who aren't even here were commenting on how much they love the idea. Sonia wrote a blog post about it. You mentioned Sonia, your co-host on the other, so it just resonated with people in exactly the way I hoped, but certainly not in the way that I would have expected.
Yes.
And so
it's very interesting.
You got it, man. Appreciate you.
And so, and some people were going to be here and they knew they couldn't come, but they wanted to connect. So they said, I'm giving you my information, so maybe we can connect at another time because I have a conflict that night. So anyway, long story short, that's how the long table was born. It's just, it's tonight. So we're hoping it's going to be really successful. We're really excited about the people who are coming, but it's just an opportunity for like-minded people who are also looking to connect and make new friends. And, some of us know one another and some of us have truly never met and just liked the idea and wanted to meet up. So I'm kind of the hostess in the sense of organizing and connecting with a restaurant and making sure there's enough space for people and that people knew where to go and when to be there.
And it's self-pay. Julia's not treating.
One day, maybe it will really take off. And next year we can get a sponsor who will pay for us to all get together for dinner. I'm manifesting that.
We're going to manifest that. So if there's any company or angel investor.
That's right. Yeah. We post about it on social media. There's probably a lot of things that we could do. But this really was just an organic idea that came up. And so I think the opportunity, conferences are so wonderful, and you are surrounded by hundreds, or like this one, thousands of people all day and all week. But if you don't carve out intentional opportunities for authentic connection with people, you can miss that. And you can feel like everything is just kind of fly by night, like you're just quickly interacting with someone during a session and then you're leaving and figuring out where you're going to go next. And I just wanted an opportunity for people to come together and meet who maybe wouldn't have otherwise gotten to talk.
I just so cherish this idea, this concept, and a couple of things come to mind. First, you and I are both Beatles fans, and I would be remiss if I didn't a nod to your mom, who I just love, who's probably a bigger Beatles fan than me.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But it echoes that classic 1968 live performance of Hey Jude on the David Frost show, where during the out chorus, all these different folks from the audience different ages, different cultures come and surround the band, and the Beatles don't turn anybody away, and you just see this camaraderie.
Yeah.
That's natural. It's a community captured in that moment. And then the other thing that really struck me is it's an idea that has no precedent, and you demonstrated, maybe stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, some courage. And I think there's so many
Yeah.
lessons in leadership that those that are tuning in can derive from that. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
I continue to be affirmed and amazed by exactly that. As someone who for a very long time was in my own head and was intimidated or afraid of even the smallest actions, putting it out there. But we talked about this was a no lose. Like, what did I have to lose? Like, maybe nobody would like the idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Or, nothing. So there was only something to gain from it. And so often in leadership, in life, at work, with our students, if we just are willing to just be a little bit uncomfortable or challenge ourselves to step just a tiny bit outside of our comfort zone, it can just compound in ways that we would never have imagined. So if we're sitting here a year from now and we do have a sponsor for this dinner, like wouldn't that be just such an amazing testament to that exact idea?
And then if those who are listening and viewing this are thinking, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a movement.
Yeah.
That, you may not be at the Model Schools Conference next year, but somebody's going, and you can do a long table.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're onto something.
Yeah, I think we are too. I mean, I think we just continue to learn that people are looking for ways to connect.
Yes.
And, you'll see things. I saw something yesterday on social media. Someone had gone around to like 80 neighbors' houses and given them an invitation to stop by their front yard for an afternoon for a popsicle. And they weren't sure if people would come, if the neighbors would come. And they did. Hundreds of people came through their yard. I mean, I just think people are waiting for that. And they are often waiting for someone else to organize. So if you find that you're waiting for someone to organize something like that, and it doesn't have to be a dinner, right? It can be
a coffee.
It can be a dinner. It can be a coffee. It can be a virtual coffee or virtual meeting with somebody. It can be bringing a book club together. It can be kind of creating your own organic PLC around a topic you're really interested in, but maybe there's no one else in your school or in your immediate district. I mean, because of technology now, we don't have the limitations of being close to one another physically in order to be able to connect. So if you find yourself, like, if there is something that you wish someone would create, I mean, that's really what it was. I was like, I wish there was an opportunity for this. So why don't I try to put it together and figure out what the logistics would look like? And the long table was a good title because we keep adding more chairs to the table, and the restaurant has been very patient with me.
Guilty.
I called them to ask. It's just, but what a wonderful problem to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's bring more in, and the idea of the long table, like everyone has a space.
Yes.
Everyone has a place. Everyone's invited.
Yes.
You mentioned that, and you mentioned this, a few times in your response, Julia, that people are looking for connection. Why do you think that's so?
I mean, I think there's so many reasons for it. The world is kind of a scary place right now.
It is.
And so we often look inward and we look around in our immediate sphere when things feel really overwhelming. I think in education in particular, this work is really hard. It's challenging. It's not getting any easier, and it may not get any easier. And so what I truly believe is going to lead to the sustainability of our profession and of our work is the connections among people. That is what keeps people going. It's what keeps you motivated. It's what keeps you accountable. It's what keeps you growing our relationships with people. And so people need more and more and more of it as the world around us, as our schools, as our classrooms get more challenging. We're not going to get more time. We may not get more resources. So we have to tap into what we have, which is support and connection with one another.
And if we find that common ground, or that long table, or that long space, in many ways, we are not only serving our own humanity, which we often forget in the leadership gig, but we are serving the humanity of others.
Yeah.
And helping them feel seen and heard and included. And yeah, you're right. Like the world's a scary place right now, and we're siloed, and just all of the things that I feel threaten our nervous systems,
Yep.
threaten our humanity,
Yeah.
that so something as simple and inviting as the long table. I'm pumped for tonight.
I am too. I'm
so
really
pumped.
excited. Yeah.
So what inspires you? I know you read, I know you love the Beatles, I know you exercise, you travel. Maybe I'm already answering the question
Yeah.
for you. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But what are those things that inspire you?
Yeah. I think all of the above, all the things that you said, some things that keep me motivated and keep me going are I am a very growth oriented person. So a lot of what you mentioned is grounded for me in like growing my perspective, growing my experiences, growing my health, like what, however you want to take that. You're never too old to keep learning and to keep growing and reflecting. And so, what I find inspiring is trying to stay challenged and trying to stay fresh and do different things. I mean, so many, like I've been now on, this is my third podcast of yours that I've been on. And a year and a half ago, I had never been on one podcast, and I had never even thought or dreamed that I would be on a podcast. So these things, they're just a little bit of a stretch, and that's what inspires me to keep going. And I think it's what we want to see in our students. It's what we want to see in our teachers. It's what we want to see in the world, are people who are not afraid to continue to grow and to say, like, I'm not done. I'm not a fully formed, perfect version of myself. I'll never be a perfect version of myself.
Right.
But to me, there's something really inspiring in the pursuit of that.
That is so true. I know we're getting ready to wrap up, and I know that you've been doing a lot of speaking gigs.
Yeah.
And I know that is also kind of fueling a passion of yours and connecting with others. So what are those kind of topics that you're reaching out to others in your work for speaking purposes?
Yeah. So I mentioned the emotional intelligence piece, like the human oriented side of our work is so important to me. I also do speaking around leadership and some of the missteps and mistakes that people make in leadership that contribute to burnout cultures and what to do instead, especially for educators, but really across industries, burnout is very real. And so there are some things that we do inadvertently that create those cultures, and how we can sort of reverse those things. And then I really love the idea of having a fulfilling career, and that really being a full career that is not just your paid work, what gives you your paycheck, what gives you your health insurance, but also incorporates your volunteer work, what you do with your spare time, how you are giving back to others, how you are learning and growing, like really thinking of our careers as a full picture. So I do some speaking and work with groups, again, in all industries, because it really is applicable, both inside and outside of education around, I have this idea of the fulfillment formula and what you need in order to have a well-rounded career.
It's awesome. I highly recommend, if you are looking for a human-centered speaker, a storyteller, and someone that inspires, Julia is the one. And I'll put all of that information in the show notes if you're interested. Julia is very accessible on LinkedIn, and receptive and responsive, and is a good thought partner to have. If folks do want to subscribe to the Strategic Serenity newsletter, which I highly recommend, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll put it in the show notes. You can also visit my website. There's a button right at the top where you can subscribe. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I will be happy to send you the link, because I'd love to have you.
Yes, highly recommend. I am so grateful for you, Julia. I'm grateful for our time together. What a treat to meet you in person. After all of the Zooms and podcast and connections there. So I'm so grateful. You have an open invitation to be on any podcast anytime.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'll take you up on it.
You got it, my friend. You got it. Folks, I am so grateful for our time together. Thank you for tuning in. As I sign off on the podcast, my typical sign off is, and this is for you, from me to you, from Julia to you, from me to you, Beatles. Yeah, I got, I gotta work it in. I gotta work it in. So don't forget to share with the world your dreams, your ideas, your visions, even your long table, because the world needs them. And you help make the world, just like Julia, a better place. This is Sean Gaylord. This is the Leadership Liner Notes podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look forward to catching you on the flip side.